Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about Vishakha Nakshatra and what it means to have Vishakha in your birth chart. So to begin the discussion, we'll start with Vishakha's qualities. Vishakha starts at 20 degrees in the sign of Libra and is up to 3 degrees and 20 minutes in the sign of Scorpio. It's the 16th nakshatra. Vishakha's ruling planet is Jupiter, or the guru of the Devas. Its ruling deity is Indra and Agni. Indra was the chief of the gods, and Agni is the fire god. The symbol for Vishakha is either a potter's wheel or, again, like in Anuradha, the triumphal gateway. The translation of Vishakha means to split into two or branched, like a lightning bolt. The gender of this nakshatra is female, and its guna quality is sattva, and the nature is sharp and soft. The element is fire, and the caste is malicha, or an outcast. And it's a raksha. The animal is a male tiger. So Vishakha is a nakshatra that has a lot of power in it. A lot of times these natives will receive so much power from like the celestials that it can cause them, they don't even realize it. And so on the physical plane, they tend to get kind of overweight. So this is something that it definitely needs to be watched and looked after. So like eating healthy and maintaining exercise, keeping some order in that to make sure that, you know, it doesn't get out of control. Another thing is that, I mean, sometimes with this, you know, with the power that comes from the celestial with this nakshatra, even if the person isn't overweight, they can feel heavy. Like if you try to pick them up, like they may look like they don't weigh anything, but when you pick them up, it's like a ton of bricks. I mean, it's a real thing. So yeah, it's a really powerful nakshatra. With this nakshatra, there's a lot of symbolism with Indra's firebolt. It's a very shocking nakshatra. There's a lot of, when I say shocking, I mean like magical shocks. the Vishakha goes through life getting like all these power surges, if you will, and so it's a really electrifying, powerful nakshatra. These people usually have really beautiful dark eyes with a really beautiful smile. They are very patient people. You know, because Vishakha is so highly charged with this power, it gives them magnificent insights. But again, we just have to make sure that the body of that native finds some way to process all these continuous shocks. Vishakhas, they grow by splitting. Like with the electric bolt, when you see it and then it goes in one straight line and it branches off like a vein or like a root. So these people tend to be like really highly charged, and they have a lot of excitement, because they may not even know that they're waiting for that signal to release and then branch off. It reminds me of, like when you go and you wash your clothes and you put them in the dryer and then you take it out and then you touch the person sitting next to you and it shocks them. It's kind of like that a little bit. So with this nakshatra, one has to be careful, because a lot of times these natives, they get really jealous over the material gains of other people. And that can cause like a lot of inner turmoil and just a lot of unnecessary problems. So, working on being grateful for what you have is really good. Keeping a steady mind. And then all these, power surges and any jealousy that might be coming up can get, won over with a solid state of mind. Vishakha has a lot of purpose in life. They don't have meaningless goals. These people, sometimes even though they don't understand the power that is given to them, they do have a firm belief in the blessings of the deities. They're not likely to be impractical, where you have some nakshatras that, and I'll get into this later, but like with Swati Nakshatra, a lot of times that nakshatra, they kind of get caught up in that, oh, what did I lose? And, they kind of think about all the things they lost, and they start getting into a lot of impractical fantasies. And but with this nakshatra, they're very practical about their beliefs and thoughts. they're not really out of the box. They have orthodox, or they stay away from orthodox ideas and superstitions. I mean, with any nakshatra pretty much, but this one, I mean, like I said, the jealousy can get a little bit out of hand, and that could be, you know, Indrani, which was Indra's queen. You know, she got to a point where she, you know, she was really, you know, not happy about her husband and Indra and his, you know, just he wasn't really around that much. So she wasn't really happy about that, and she felt not jealous of other girls, but jealous because she didn't have that attention. And so, you know, it all kind of goes along with the deities of this nakshatra, plus along with the power of Agni. Just, it's a very powerful nakshatra just because of these two ruling deities of it. You know, a lot of times the females with this nakshatra, they face a lot of trouble because of their beauty and fascinating persona. They're hardworking, and they work well in a profession and in their home. But they're not the type that show off, you know, which probably makes them just more fascinating, and, you know, it causes a lot of trouble in their life because they have so many skills, you know, and it's just, and they have all this just radiating power inside. But you're never arrogant with others. Which is really weird, because it's like other people are fascinated with your beauty and fascinating personality, but on the other hand, you're likely to become jealous of, you know, people around you, which is just really weird, you know? It's like people are jealous of you and you're jealous, and then it's like a vicious circle, you know? But, you know, the grass always looks greener on the other side. Just think of it like that. You know, there's always somebody who doesn't have as much as you have. And whenever you feel any jealousy, just remember that, I mean, you can be a master of your destiny somewhat, and there's always somebody that's looking at you and, you know, wanting to have your power and be as beautiful in their personality too. The male with this nakshatra, they enjoy good health, but like I said, you know, this nakshatra has a lot of power, and they could face like a sudden attack that could paralyze them or something like that. They're also prone to getting like asthma attacks. And what else can we say about Vishakha? Oh, we have to go over your compatibilities. So let's see. But I mean, this nakshatra, even though it's, I mean, when these guys get jealous, it's like, look out. I mean, you wouldn't want to get electrified with a lightning bolt, would you? I don't think so. But no, really, this nakshatra is really beautiful. They have a lot of powerful and good qualities. Let's see. Whenever I think about this nakshatra, I'm not sure why, but I always think about like hot pink lightning. It just, and I'm sorry for the males that have this nakshatra, no offense. But for some reason, it's just, to me, Vishakha just sounds like a girl's name, or it's like a girl nickname or something, like some power, one of the, like, not Catwoman, but what do they call those superheroes? I don't know. You know what I mean. It's just Vishakha. I'm gonna Vishakha shock you. It's a cool name. It's a cool nakshatra. It's definitely one to be proud of. Let's see. Let's get to your compatibilities. Let's see here. So it's just such a beautiful splendor nakshatra. It's really, really nice. Oh, you know, Vishakha, they're also, the natives are known to have really beautiful hair and nice bone structure. And I forgot to mention that. And I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna pull up your compatibility list here that I have. And so your compatibility is gonna be with, of course, the Brihaspati nakshatras. So that's gonna be other Vishakhas, of course, Purnavasu and Purva Bhadra. And nakshatras of Mangala, so that's going to be Chitra, Danishta, and Marigashara. Your nakshatras of Chandra, so Rohini, Hasta, Shravana. Your nakshatras with Surya, so Kritika, Uttar Ashada, and Uttar Falguni. You're going to be neutral, so you're going to get along with a lot of people, but you're going to be neutral with Shani nakshatras, so Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttar Bhadra. I can never say that. I have so much trouble saying the Uttar and Purva Bhadra. I always want to say Bhadrapada. Now, you're uneasy with Rahu and Ketu signs, surprisingly. So that's your Mulas, Maghas, Ashwini, Shatabishta, Swati, and Arudra. And your most challengings are with nakshatras with Shukra and Buddha. So that means Bharani, Purva Falguni, Purva Ashada, and Ashlesha, Jeshta, and Revati. And I'm trying to think of somebody famous with this nakshatra. I can't think of anyone right offhand. I always mean to say somebody famous, and then maybe I'll just write it down. But like I was saying, this nakshatra is really powerful. I think that the best thing is just how to handle all that power that you have given to you by the grace of the God. Just be in tune with that, and be in tune with how, how wonderful you are and powerful that you are. And anytime that you feel like, you feel hot-blooded or jealous, just like dig within yourself and make sure that you're doing all you can to be the best version of yourself that you can. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about Vishakha. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed giving it. Thank you. Have a great night.